In this video, we will finally fetch all of our tweets and we will render them on our timeline. So let's start building this. So as you can see, we are now able to successfully submit a tweet. Let's do it again. Copy some lorem ipsum, a long paragraph maybe. So you can see this is a long paragraph. If we tweet this tweet is sent successfully. And in the network tab, you can see all the requests. So these all are the requests which is working on in the backend. You can see this is the tweet and this is how it is being sent, and we are getting some data from our server as well. This is a server action. Okay, so now let's close this thing. I just want to show you that it is basically sending an API request, nothing much. And here we are able to see our tweets. We just now have to fetch them and show to the main component. In the main component, here we are fetching all the tweets. So here we will define our getTweets function. First, we will create our Supabase server client, just how we have created in our server component. So this is how we will create our thing. So what I want is, I want this to be used on the same place. So I can create so we have Supabase URL, everything is good. And here we have our Supabase client. So this is a JS library. I think it may not work. So we can try this at least. There is no worry in trying. We can try this. Okay, so this is an async function. And here we have our Supabase server client. If Supabase didn't do anything, basically simple. We will figure out how to handle this stuff much smoothly or much nicely in a very much organized way. This looks ugly as for now, but yeah, we can handle this for now. So now we have our Supabase server. We just need to fetch all the tweets. For that, I can show you the example how the data is being fetched. So in the fetching, you can see get data. Here we are fetching the data. If this is okay, we are returning the data. And this is how we will get the data. So what we can do, const Supabase gives us two things, data and error. You can await, we can say Supabase server, not secret key, server dot from tweets, and we can select all the records. You can see we have all the records, but we also want to select the profile with the tweets because we want to show something here. We want to show the username. We want to show the user profile also. Okay, so we want to join this table as well. So you can see username and full name. So we will join this table, the username, the name, and the tweet. Later on, we will also join the likes, bookmarks, and all the other tables. For now, let's join the user table. So if you go to API docs, here you will find how to join this. So in the tweets, you can see, you can read the foreign table like that. Select some column, other table, and here you can select. So what we can do, here we can select all the rows from the current table and the other table, which is profiles table. We can select everything from profiles as well. Can we show everything from profiles on the client? Let's see if profile doesn't have any secret or confidential thing. So it is ID, updated at username, profile. So we can select the username and full name basically for now. So we can say here full name, and we can say we need the username, and we can, as for now, let's console.log the data so we can see what is going on here. Okay, so the data is not typed, full name and username. So if you go here and if you hit the refresh, now we should be able to see something here. Okay, so we have to call this thing over here. So const data is equal to get tweets, and we have to await this, and to await this we have to make this function asynchronous. Now this will work. You can see we are getting some data. This is hello world, username is club of folders, and the name is null. You can see the full name is null, and we are getting the table as well. So you can see we are getting the profiles and we are getting the main data as well. Dot. So here we can say what it returns. So it will be type safe. So what it returns. So here if you hover over it, you can see overrides the type of return data. So how to do this? Let's see if the Supabase docs has anything related to returning the Supabase returns type from table, type script, TS with Supabase. Yeah, so here you can see export async. So this is how we are returning the movies, ID and titles, and here we can say type of get movies. But it will show us the title, but we want to show the correct response here. I think there must be docs related to returns. So here, as you can see, we can override the data by defining here. So if we define a string over here, so you can see this is string or null. This data is string or null. So we can type the data over here. So to type the data, we have the database types here, all the types we have generated previously in our previous video. So we just need to join two tables. So for here, we can say the database, import the data. First of all, we need to import this thing. Okay, so we are not getting the imported thing here. So we can import. So in the database, we have some types in the public, in the tables, instead of doing the tables. Yeah, in the tables, we have tweets. We are getting the tweets here, all the tweets, and we are getting the profiles as well. So if you go over here where this, no, you just need to copy this thing. You can profiles, and here you can see profiles. So now if you hover over the data, you can see we are getting something, but in the tweets, you can suggest what do you need. It is a row and it is also a row. Now you hover over it, you can see we are getting some data, which is a created ID profile. This is okay. But here we are getting only full name and username. So we can select, we can modify the type, and you will see how we will do that also. So profiles is a row and which is a array like that. So now if you hover over it, you can see the profiles is now an array, not an array. It is just a single. So we can remove this. Now it is good. So now if you click data dot, okay, so it is, so we are returning the array of this whole thing. So now this is an array. So if we go to the 0th element and we go to profiles, and now here we can print the full name, and but we only want to select something, so we can pick from our types. So we want to pick full name and we want to pick the username. Only two things we want here. So you can search the pick type script in the documentation. So here you can pick the desired columns like that. So now if we have full name and profile like that. So now if you go here on the application, if you refresh this, now you will see club of orders and null, which is the first element of our thing. So we are getting all the things we need, and now we can return this whole data, and this will be nice and easy. So we can return it directly, and here we have our data. If we get any error, so we can show the error. Okay, so this is something wrong with this. So here what we can do, if we have data dot error, we can show an error here, tweets not available. Okay, tweets, or we can show server, something wrong with server, something wrong with the Supabase, or we can say the server. And here we want to show the data if it is available. So if we can say data dot data is here, so instead of data, we can say the return the data or the response dot data is available, then res dot data dot map directly. And here we have our tweet, and inside our tweet, now we have our tweet ID. You can see everything is type safe now. Here we can say tweet dot profiles dot, what is this? This is full name, and if it doesn't exist, don't show anything. And here we can show the username. Here we will show the time when this is created, so we can use the day.js library for it and the relative time plugin. So if you search day.js, we will use this thing. So go to new terminal, install npm install day.js, and if you search, if you go to the documentation, display and time from now. So it requires relative time plugin to work. So if you search, we just need to also import this thing. So what I'm saying is import day.js from day.js, import relative time plugin, and you can, what you can do here, you can day.js.extend, and you can extend the plugin like this. So import relative time from this, and now you can extend this thing, and now we can use this format here from now. So here we are. What we can do, day.js, here we can give it the tweet when this is created, and we can say from now. Now it will show us the relative time. And this is our tweet text. Here we can show tweet.text. This is everything else we will do after the like. We have implemented the like functionality and the other functionalities. So for now, let's save this thing and see if this is working or showing some error. So now you can see we have 2 tweets and it is showing nice and good. We can submit a tweet. Let's copy some another lorem ipsum now. Tweet this, tweet sent successfully, but now this is not refreshed. So we have to refresh this and then it should be available. Okay, so it is not available. Why is this? So let's log this thing. We should have 3 tweets for now. More than 3 tweets, right? We have 3. So here we should also have 3 tweets. But it is not showing us 3 tweets. Why is that? Console.log. We can always use console.log to get what we want. Refresh this. You can see we are only getting the 2 tweets as for now. Okay, it may be because of the caching. You can say this, we are hitting the cache. So we don't want any caching enabled for now. So what we can do, we can disable the caching. If you go over here, it is enabled the caching for now. We don't want it. Background revalidates the data at a specific time interval on demand. Revalidate data based on the event such as an update. Yeah, so it is fetching and next it will revalidate. Yeah, so we can do something like this. So in the next cache we have something. So in the revalidate tag here we should have something. Console.log revalidate tag. Okay, so this is the API route. I am talking about that's why it is very fast. You can see this is like very quick, 78 millisecond, because we are hitting the cache, not hitting the default. So when we have created the tweet, we want to revalidate the data. So to revalidate the data, we can directly do this. We can set this to 0, I think. So it will revalidate again and again. Let's try this. No, this is not working. Let's see this. In the server actions, it is saying that when we have submitted a product to the card, we can revalidate the path. This is a use client component. You can see increment client. Here we are using a server component. This is what we have did now. Custom invocations without start transition. Yeah. I want to see the documentation, not this thing. Dynamic data fetches are fetch requests that specifically opt out for caching behavior by setting the cache option to no store or revalidate to 0. That's what we are doing. We are revalidating this to 0. So instead of here, this is our main component. So inside of defining the revalidation, the tag here, we have to do this here. And it is saying that main component cannot be used as CSS. We can also separate this whole thing out into the separate file for now. Yeah, now you can see we are getting all the 3 tweets because we have disabled our caching. If we try to submit again, we are not seeing. We have to refresh this thing. We are able to see 2 hello words now. Yeah, so this is hello word. We are seeing 2 hello words. This is hello word. Second tweet set successfully. We should see 3 hello word now. If you hit refresh, hello word, hello word, hello word 2. Yeah, it's working. So we have disabled the caching for now. You can see the cache is missed and it is taking some more time. Now, what is our main concern is when we submit any tweet, we want to revalidate the whole thing. Okay, so revalidate the path, not path we want to revalidate. Or there is something called mutation, success mutation in the compose state. Let's go to here. Supabase server from insert. When this is successfully done, we want to refresh the page. So router, we can use a router from next router, latest const. So let's go to the documentation. Here we have something called router. There is something which I have used in my previous tutorial and the documentation is not nice, I would say. Previously there was good documentation which was a development version of the documentation of latest Next.js features. Use router how. Yeah, this is a thing I'm saying. Invalidating the cache. Server actions can be used to revalidate the data on demand by path or by cache tag. What is this revalidate tag here? So if we are using the Next.js API routes, then we can revalidate tag like this. But we want to do inside our server actions. That's why I think we need revalidate path. So I think here we can revalidate our path. Revalidate. Okay, what it is saying, revalidate. No, this is not revalidate the path and it will accept the path as a home page. So now if we submit anything, yeah, you can see that we haven't refreshed and this is automatically getting populated. Auto revalidate tweet. You can see we are auto revalidating this thing. So this is working nicely. Now we can remove our console.log, which is here in the page, in the main component. We can remove this thing. We can also put this thing into the separate component or the functions in the app or in the library. Create a Supabase, create a new folder, I think Supabase. In the create a new file, get tweets.ts, export const get tweets, and here we can use this thing over here, as simple as it is. Save this and we will just import here. So this is how we are extracting the logic out of here. It will be much better. Import the database also. Yeah, it's looking good. Let's see if this is working or not. Yeah, this is working. And one thing more is remaining. When we compose the tweet in the form client, I want to reset the whole form. So how should we reset the form? Okay, so to reset the form, there is something reset form HTML. Cool. So there is something called a type reset, which will reset everything. You can see this is action.php, the page. If we try to do submit this, email is this. Yeah, everything is good, but I want to reset form, which we can basically, this is a client component, you can see. So we can just do it directly. What I mean is we can have a button, type is reset, and we can give the reference to this button and we can programmatically call this. So reset ref is equal to use ref. It is a button, HTML button element. Initially it is null. We can pass the reference to this. I haven't used this approach, but I think this can work. We can give class name as a invisible. So it is invisible, and when we have successfully sent the tweet, we can click this button like this. So it will, this is a tweet with auto reset. If we hit enter, you can see it automatically reset our form, which is good. I don't know this is a correct approach, but yeah, this is a one approach which you can use to reset your form. So that's how we have submitted our tweet and everything is looking good for now. This is maybe hard for you because I know Next.js, this is the latest things which we are doing. So in the next video, we will create more functionalities. So thank you so much for watching this video.